Today we go over Star Wars Episode 9 when it comes to the running time of the movie. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, with the Star Wars sequel trilogy almost complete by J.J. Abrams, who is directing the final installment of the sequel trilogy that will bring a return of many of the legacy characters such as Luke, Lando, and Leia, as well as a handful of new characters as well as, of course, Rey and Kylo Ren, Finn, Poe, you name it. Now, looking at Episode 9 and all, the fact that they are cramming so much stuff into this story, and I will say that is the one thing that I do worry about in this film, is that it will be too crammed with characters and subplots here and there that won't leave enough time for the characters of Kylo, Rey, and of course Lando Calrissian, Luke, Leia, all the characters that I'm really looking forward to seeing in this movie. Now, with that being said, the concept of Episode 9 being the longest Star Wars movie to date. Now, we have heard a lot of talk about this. There has been a lot of rumors out there that Star Wars Episode 9 is said to be the longest Star Wars movie in history, so far at least, unless they do something that tops that in the future. But apparently Episode 9, J.J. Abrams and crew, they aim to make this the longest Star Wars movie to date, surpassing The Last Jedi, which I believe maxed out at 2 hours and, 17 minutes, counting the credits and everything. And that is one thing that you guys need to remember, is that when we think about running time for a Star Wars movie, that's also counting the credits and the very beginning of the movie, where it says, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and the opening crawl. All of that is included within the running time. So if you strip those two aspects away, it really does knock a lot off of what you're actually seeing in the movie, plot-wise. Now, when it comes to Episode 9, it being longer than The Last Jedi, and it being the longest Star Wars film to date, I think is a great thing. I think that at minimum here, this movie has to be 2 hours and 40 minutes. There's just so much to tell. There's way too many characters, I believe, coming into the mix here. That is one thing that some people are actually concerned about, is that this movie is going to have the most planets out of every Star Wars film and the most characters out of every Star Wars film. I mean, the proof is right there with the characters so far. So far, we have 7 new characters entering into Episode 9. I mean, we have Richard E. Grant and his character, we have Kerry Russell's character, Naomi Ackie, Dominic Monaghan, we have Matthew Smith, and we have 2 other characters coming into the mix as well for Episode 9, one of which is named Karina, I believe it is, and that was all thanks to that hashtag show, I believe, who reported on that. But what's interesting about Episode 9, though, is exactly how are they going to organize all of this. Unless a lot of these new characters are all paired up in a group, maybe some of them are, associated with the Knights of Ren, and some of them are associated with a group within the Resistance. If they could do it like that, where they're all together on screen for large portions of the time in Episode 9, that would work out. However, if each and every character is separated and has their own story, that's going to take a lot of time away from Kylo, Rey, Luke, Leia, Lando Calrissian, Finn, and Poe, all of the characters that we look forward to seeing on the big screen. So, with that being said, I think that some of these characters, since they do have key roles, will be more important than others. I think that some of these characters coming into the mix have to have very small screen time. So for Naomi Ackie's character, for example, we don't really know too much about her, but she does have scenes with Poe Dameron and Finn. As far as Kerry Russell goes, she apparently has scenes with Kylo Ren and Rey. And Richard E. Grant, we have no idea who he's playing. That's one character that's really mysterious as of right now. But Episode 9 being the longest film in Star Wars history, I think is a great thing. After all, this is a very special movie. It is the final film of the Skywalker saga, and I think that it needs to be treated right. It needs to be done correctly by JJ, and he really has to know what he's dealing with here and what he's really doing. So with that all being done and said, let me know what you guys have to say about Episode 9 being the longest film in Star Wars as a whole. How would you feel about that? Would you guys like a 2-hour and 45-minute Star Wars movie? I think that is great, because not only would you be able to explore all these characters on a more deeper level, but you would also be able to enjoy everything evenly. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.